Now we are doing the shop announcement section. And this is a really fun section because this is the prime real estate at the very top of your shop's homepage. And this is where you really set the tone for what your shop and your experience is all about. So this part really matters. So in this lesson, we are going to cover the key components in your shop announcement. We're going to cover how and when to update it to improve conversion. So these are the key components of your shop announcement. First, we're going to have a brief welcome, like hello. Then we are going to make sure to call out our turnaround time info because that is probably the number one question. I do recommend having a blanket turnaround time in your shop that you can reference versus breaking it out into like a bunch of different turnaround times for different products. Keeping it consistent is great, especially if you want to encourage multi-item transactions. So if you want people to be buying multiple items, they might get confused. If one item says it will ship in 3 days, but then this other item they kind of wanted said 15 days, then it's like they get confused. So I recommend having turnaround time info in your shop announcement, keeping it consistent across all your products. It is usually the most frequently asked question on Etsy. And right after this turnaround time info, you are going to include a link to your rush order fee. If you have one, expedited production fee, whatever you want to call it, because this is providing a immediate solution to a need that they might have if they're wondering about this. You're also going to link your mockup previewer tool if you have one. This could be where they look a tool that you're using for them to see what fonts look like in certain names, any type of mockup tool that you use. This is where you should put that. So you're going to have a new paragraph introducing your shop in your location. This is not storytelling time though. This is a brief intro to your shop, where you're located, and what customers can expect to find with you. That is for SEO, okay? This is where you want to include some long tail keywords that really fit with your top sellers, your best sellers, your about section, your descriptions, like all your tags and your sections. Like this is where you bring in some SEO. Then you have a new paragraph if you need to explain how to order. Let's say you have custom items or digital downloads. Maybe you offer a service that needs explaining. Put a paragraph on explaining how to order. Step 1, 2, 3, really simple. Do not use too many words. Be concise, direct, trim the fat. So you are also going to link to your shop's main sections here as bullet points. So even though they're on the left side in your shop under sections, sometimes customers prefer to find them in your shop announcement. So you've just talked about what they can expect to find. You've referenced some of the SEO terms, the long tail keywords that you're using. Include bullet points with your sections. So you're also going to link to your social media accounts for exclusive discount codes and sneak peeks of customer orders. This is giving them value for following you. It's inviting them off of Etsy to interact with you and to basically see proof that you are legitimate. So what are some ways to make your shop announcement better? Maybe you have a shop announcement. We are going to use paragraphs and bullet points. So for bullet points, it looks really great if you use some kind of emojis that relate to your customer, category, or products for added visual interest and communication. So if you have a floral design shop, use, the little flower one. If you have a crochet shop, you can use ball of yarn. There are so many emojis. Just keep it simple. You could even just put a star or something that is some kind of color that breaks up the text a little bit and adds a little bit of visual interest to make it easier to read, especially on a phone. So in your shop announcement, you are going to provide external links as much as possible. So Etsy links will connect, they'll like hyperlink where they can just click on it. Outside links, they will have to highlight, copy, and paste. So it's not ideal, but most people, if they're interested in you and you've piqued their interest and they want to know more, they want to like check you out, they will take the time to actually copy and paste. So include Etsy links to your sections, outside links to your social media and or your website. So here I'm going to show you an example of this. Welcome to the shop name. We ship in this amount of time, depending on the item. Military spouse, immigrant owned. So you want to read more. They call out their keywords, their SEO, which is really good to do right away. And then a new paragraph. Need your items sooner. They're referencing the rush order fee right away. Follow us on Instagram. So that's great. Sneak peek, special announcement, discount codes. Now they are breaking up their sections with little emojis. They're stating what it is because remember, if you don't state what the link is for, no one's going to click on it. That's very scary to put a link out there and not state what it's for. Make sure you state what it's for. You could call it categories. You could call it collections. They're saying to leave any event date in the notes section when you check out if it's for a specific date. They're talking about more of the background information. This is kind of a lot of fluff, but they're saying connect, all caps. Signing their name. So it also has a safety warning, copyright info, and they're also stating they're not responsible for items delayed or lost in shipment. So this is a good shop announcement.